Hello everyone, welcome back to another Toss episode. Okay, so, 5-ish years ago, I made a video which is a retops for my first party characters I want in Smash 4. This is back in 2013. So, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a new one, make a updated version of that. Well, actually, I just now noticed that I had made a video about that. I thought I did not make a video about this, but I'm now making a new one for this because it's been like 4+ years. So, characters I want to play as in Smash Brothers. Now, this is basically a reaction to the announcement of the pending arrival of a certain giant red fireball coming in to the Switch, and immediately people are like, hey, let's go make another list of people we want in new Smash Brothers. Whether or not it's going to be like an updated port of Smash 4 or going to be a new thing, but slight hints suggest it's going to be a port of, the current thing, which makes sense given that it's supposed to be released in 2018. Okay. Now, differently from Retoss 23, I decided to order this list in the order of how I would react to it. Not necessarily, do I want to play this character. So, basically, let's say the 7th slot on this list, I would have a much better reaction than the 10 slot on this list, for example. Even though I might like the 10 version better. Even though it's not really the case. But, so let's just get this going. Now, before I continue this, 2 things. One is whether or not the Fire Emblem for Switch is going to show up before the Smash Brothers. If it does show up, then whatever the main character or one of the main characters in that would probably take precedence over the Fire Emblem character I have in mind. Although I probably still want this Fire Emblem character I have in mind. And yes, the Fire Emblem character on this list. And second, those 2. Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade 2. And the reason why they're the honorable mention is because, 1, I have not played Xenoblade 2. 2, I do not want to play Xenoblade 2. And 3, look at Pyra. Enough said. Okay, so now that's over. Let's go begin the actual 1 to 10 list. Number 10 is Crystal from Star Fox. Yes, her already. Now, the reason why she is here at all is because, well, we don't have that many Star Fox characters, and Crystal's already very well loved for one reason or another. But including to the fact that when Brawl came out and people wanted to pick a character they want on Brawl, Crystal's already top girl. However, for Smash 4, she's still among top girl, but not the top girl. And I assume that it's going to be a Smash 5 report that people will want this as top girl. I mean, she's not my top girl, but we'll get to that. Now, what would Crystal do? So I assume that Crystal would probably have like a staff, and probably just like hit people with a staff, so slightly like mid-range weapon. And then I don't do some other stuff, maybe a Star Fox, maybe have like a minigun or something like in that artwork. I don't know. That'd be weird if she just has a minigun, and that'd just be hilarious. Alongside that, like a staff. And the default art, I kind of would want to have the Assault as the default art instead of the Star Fox Adventures one, and maybe have that as one of the alts. I don't know, I think it's a lot more, I just like that art, the Assault art more than the, the Star Fox Adventures, even the Star Fox Command one. I mean, as much as I sort of like Star Fox Command, what the heck's with the pink? I mean, it doesn't make sense with the whole Crystal being blue thing. But alright, let's move on. Now it's Andy from Advance Wars. Now, to be honest, I kind of want any Advance Wars character from this, and Andy's the main character. So, man, I can't for 2 of them. But I would choose, if I would choose any Advance Wars character, probably with Sammy, mostly because like it makes more sense with her being in there, because being the infantry and then also the gunners stuff. I'd imagine Andy be more like kind of like summoning tanks and infantry units, kind of like in the assist trophy for Advance Wars units. kind of like that. Maybe like use like a wrench or something to fix up his like little infantry units. But then again, it could be similar to Pikmin. But then again, it probably would act a bit differently because it'll just be act independently of the main character Andy, and he'll probably be a support unit to its own crew. Or maybe hit the right with a wrench. I don't know. That's just my weird idea for Andy. So my idea is just any Advance Wars character, but because Andy's the main character, I would choose Andy. If I were to choose a different character, I would choose a different character. But Andy just made the main character. Is Magnus for obvious reasons. Now, here's the thing. Now, I was torn between whether I want Magnus or Flint as that character with a huge weapon and just being like a brute force. But the thing is that we already have Ike for that. For that thing is being like a big sword and big heavy sword guy, but still mobile for the most part. Since the Magnus Club is pretty fast, makes the user pretty decently fast, doesn't reduce speed that much, but doesn't have that much range. They still imagine Magnus being pretty in there. Probably act a lot different than Ike because he's a much bigger sword. Maybe use the sword as sort of shield. I don't know. But again, Flint has like self buffs. So if Flint was in, then he'll probably have some sort of self buff. Then do like various different damaging moves depending on the buff that he was applied to him. But then I realized, wait a minute. Here's another idea. I could have Magnus take up the slot of the big weapon user, and have another character from Mother 3 take on the 7 slot. And so 7 slot is... Kumatora from Mother 3. Now, the thing I want to have for Kumatora compared to Ness and Lucas, while Ness and Lucas do have PSI and they both function sort of the same, I kind of want Kumatora's PSI to act much different than the others. So here's my idea of like a special moveset for Kumatora. But first of all, she'd be mostly equipping her gloves, so mostly doing like hand-to-hand combat, but her hand-to-hand combat has pretty close damage, and then but they'll probably hit pretty fast. We'll say that. However, PSI acts, I guess, somewhat slowly, so you have some sort of doing like light combos with her physical attacks and her PSI as like finishers or something. For example, let's have PK Fire and PK Thunder switch. So instead of the up B is PK Fire, while the side B is PK Thunder. And the PK Thunder is more like Pikachu's Thunder, except it's like slower and faster, and then there's multiple of them but hit to the side. And then just more like a bunch of lightning bolts hit in front of her, like a line. And it's easily possible for opponent to dodge it, because they'll probably have some sort of gap to make the opponent dodge. And the PK Fire will be more like a propulsion thing. So using PK Fire as doing propulsion. We'll say that. And then the main thing that will separate Kumatora from everyone else is her signature ability, PK Ground, which is more like an earth-shaking move. And there aren't that many earth-shaking moves, so you have some sort of like an earth-shaking move, and anyone that's caught near it will like get stunned a lot, so that Kumatora will come in and do her main physical combo. That's part of it's kind of like an idea, or maybe have that as like the down B, and have like her standard B be like, I don't know, like a buff or something, because she can do offense like Flint does. Or maybe down B offense, I mean B be the PK Ground. I don't know. That's just my idea. Number 6, Black Shadow, or at least any representation of Zero, but mostly Black Shadow, regardless. And here's the thing I want for Black Shadow to be. Okay, I kind of want Ganondorf's current moveset to pass on to Black Shadow, while Ganondorf gets his own separate moveset. Get like a moveset that's entirely Ganondorf. That way, it would make much more sense for there being some sort of weird Captain Falcon, slower but stronger clone in Black Shadow, which is already another F-Zero character, while Ganondorf does his own thing. It's a lot, again, the whole Ganondorf Captain Falcon thing, you act like they're clones, because one is that they're stats differently. I think it works better than what Wolf had compared to Star Fox, the Star Fox crew, which Fox and Falcon have similar-ish moveset, while Wolf has things that appear similar, but they're not. And that's a part of it. By the way, Wolf's on this list because Crystal already took up the Star Fox slot. Besides, Wolf's already wasn't already in Smash Bros. Whatever. So yeah, Black Shadow to take over again North's moveset. Mostly because it makes more sense to go on Black Shadow. Because Black Shadow doesn't really have much to differentiate from any random villain. So maybe we could do some sort of weird magic. I don't know. It makes sense to be more like Ganondorf currently. Number 5, Mikey Kong. For the same reason why I wanted Mikey Kong back in 2013. Because no one really has the stretchy arms archetype that the Dalsim has in Smash Brothers. So we can have someone like Mikey Kong just do his little stretchy arms thing, and then have a lot of his moves from DK64. Maybe his double jump could be or maybe his jump attack could be this interesting hitbox all around the user, being a good defensive technique. So the idea I kind of want Mikey Kong to be this defensive-ish character. Granted, probably won't be susceptible to combos like everyone else, but be more like a huge defensive character. I'd probably use more Zelda, to be honest. If Mikey Kong is used more defensively than anyone else. And imagine the freaking huge tether grab they might have. That'd be interesting. That's pretty much it. I just want Mikey Kong mostly because there's no stretchy arms defensive unit in Smash Brothers. Now, number 4 on this list, I was originally going to put Anthony Higgs from Metro Other M because there is no character in Smash Bros. that fits the role that I would want him to be in, which is a very heavy ranged character. Because nearly every heavy character is mostly close range or close combat range. Like if there were Bowser, even though he has his flamethrower, his primary mode of attack is still going close to the enemy. Wario, even though he has his bike for mobility, he has his farts for insane area effect around him, but he has no pure range. Ganondorf, he basically has no range. And for guys like Ike, again, a lot more movement. This guy is ether for something, but he's not range. And Anthony Higgs with his giant gun, he could probably be a head character, but also be focused on range. But I found a better character. So you could probably just put Anthony Higgs in the 4 slot, but the real 4 slot for me belongs to Silex from Metroid Prime Hunters. Because if the end of Metroid Prime 3 says anything, it means that he might have some sort of role in Metroid Prime 4. If there is footage of Metroid Prime 4, then I don't know about it. If it does show up, if Metroid Prime 4 comes out and no Silex, then just forget what I just said. But it does seem that Silex has some sort of more importance onto the story than the other hunters in Metroid Prime Hunters. He's an electric guy, so he does a lot of lightning-based stuff, lightning grabs, and he has a move that is just kind of like Force Lightning, I guess. And he has some sort of electric move in which he hits the opponent, but as long as he holds a button or something, he can still attack, which is a weird game thing. I forgot if it's called anything, but he does have mostly electric moves, and he's actually pretty fast too. And of course, he hits different morph balls and that sort of thing. So I think that some Metro representation, be it the range heavy Anthony Higgs or someone like Silex, whose power might be important to the story, would be awesome. But yes, no Ridley, because I don't want Ridley in Smash. But Silex definitely, because that's other Metroid representation. Now 3, the Zelda representation on this list is Impa, specifically from Skyward Sword or Hyrule Warriors. They're both like similar, but the reason is like we have like Sheik, who's like a ninja-like character. How about we could have like another ninja-like character, but acts different than Sheik? So it can be fast, and maybe have like Hyrule Warriors, Impa's Naginata, specifically Naginata, got the great sword, and use it to have a fast as like range-ish character. Of course, like I'm susceptible to like stuff like I don't know, faster characters or this sort of thing, and maybe have our attacks be slightly fast. I don't know, but like I kind of like the design of Impa Skyward Sword. To be honest, kind of want to see it in action. I don't know, Breath of the Wild. You can have like some Breath of the Wild characters in it. You can have Urbosa or Mipha or not Falco over here, but I just want Impa Skyward Sword. But if you want to put like if developers want to put some sort of other Breath of the Wild character, fine, whatever. But then I won't be as interested in it because I've not played Skyward Sword. I don't play Skyward Sword either, but I've not played Breath of the Wild. But I like to design Impa Skyward Sword, so I'll just leave it at that. Of course, Impa Hyrule Warriors even more kind of crazy, so I'll like to see that. Number 2, surprisingly, did not put it on Retoss 23, Princess Daisy. Now, again, Princess Daisy is like my favorite Mario character and one of my original waifus, but again, the reason why I put Daisy in there because like even though she might not be that different to other characters, kind of want to have her to be some sort of brawler. Not using a lot of sports gear, maybe using some sports gear, but mostly be like a brawler. Maybe she just like hits things pretty hard. Because I kind of want Daisy to be, because like I kind of want this huge differentiation between Peach and Daisy. And Daisy does have more of an aggressive thing, because she's a tomboy, of course. But like you have this sort of like huge difference between the two. So they may look similar, but they want them to be completely different. That's what I kind of want Daisy to be. And it'll be awesome to get to see Daisy in Smash Brothers, be it the one coming up or a future one. And now for my Fire Emblem pick. Here it is, the man himself, Hector! I want to say he's the man himself as that, and I would be pretty stoked to see this guy in Smash Brothers. Now, if it's going to be a Melee HD, I want Hector in that. I don't care how, but I want Hector in that. Because, like, it would make sense to have Hector in a Melee port if it's going to be, like, new characters in a Melee port, in a Melee HD. I kind of want Hector in it. If it was, like, a new Smash Brothers, I'd do want Hector in it, because he's a super popular character. And he's actually super strong too. Now, how would I do with Hector? Here's the thing. I kind of want this. Just hear me out. This one. I want a Smash Hector to be intentionally overpowered, and here's why. There's yet to be a Fire Emblem related thing where Hector isn't overpowered. I don't know about Fire Emblem Cypher, the card game, but in Fire Emblem Heroes and in his base game, Hector is freaking overpowered. I mean, granted, Heroes has like more characters that are more overpowered, but Hector is overpowered. So, kind of want Hector to be this overpowered character. A character that is so strong can easily be characters that it mostly aim by attacking really quickly with combos, like ZSS, or Sheik, or Fox. So, a character that could beat super fast combo heavy characters. That would be my Hector. It's like this overpowered. And yes, he could probably have a weakness so that he's actually ironically not very good against the heavier hitting characters. That's fine. I'm okay with this. But like have a character that beats beats the characters that are really hard to beat as is, but be weak to the more weaker characters by design of their own playstyles. That's what I want Hector to be. So that's what I want Hector, and I'll be super stoked to see Hector on this list. But I am not done with this list. Now, I may have said number 1 is Hector, but I'm not done with this list. Now, I made another related list, Top 72, and which is my favorite third-party characters. Now, to this point, I've not mentioned third-party characters, because I think that's just wasn't fair to include third-party characters. But if you know me really well, and if there's one character I want in Smash Bros., regardless of circumstance, regardless of whether or not it will be possible or not. You can call this my number 0. My number 0 will be... Of course. Of course. Because like, if there's one kid I'm super psyched to play as, it's Shantae. Because, again, I've been following Shantae since like more or less the announcement of Smash 4. And through all this time, over like 4+ years, that I've grown to really like Shantae. Like both the game series and the character. So, of course I do want my Shantae to be in Smash Brothers. Because, like, for pretty much all the reasons. The girl, because there are not many girls in Smash Brothers. It's a third party. I mean, yeah, third parties aren't that common in Smash Brothers, but hey, now that we've seen a lot of third parties, why not get another third party? It's an indie, which is a big deal, because there are no indies in Smash Brothers, and it does represent a lot of the importance of indie games within, you know, the Nintendo community. So, and there is very few characters from indie games that are more significant than Shantae. I mean, you can make the argument of, let's say, Shovel Knight, because Shovel Knight's actually really popular, but like, Shantae is one of the few original, really good indie games that people love. So, of course, I'm gonna put my Shantae into Smash Brothers, and if she gets announced, I'm gonna go freaking ballistic. I'm gonna go more ballistic than that really ballistic thing I did back when Ribbon Road was announced for Mario Kart 8 DLC. So anyway, that is all for this list. So, you go comments for what characters you want on Smash Brothers, and what characters you want, like, super hyped for. That is all. See you guys later for next tops.